This 18-year-old Bahraini princess secretly ran away with a US Marine. But how did their life turn out 23 years later? An 18-year-old Bahraini princess fell in love with an ordinary American soldier and secretly ran away with him, abandoning her lavish lifestyle for the sake of love. But how did this unusual couple initially meet? How did they overcome all of the obstacles to be together? And where are they today, 23 years later? Maryam Al Khalifa, a member of Bahrain's ruling family, was one of 5 daughters of Sheikh Abdullah Al Khalifa, a distant relative of Bahrain's current monarch. Maryam was surrounded by luxury and privilege. She had always known that her future would involve marrying a guy of considerable standing, probably considerably older than herself. Though the concept did not excite her, she had accepted it as her destiny. However, her life took a surprising turn in January 1999. Jason Johnson, a United States Marine Lance Corporal, had recently been posted to Bahrain to work on a military base as part of a security forces squad tasked with protecting American expatriates. Since the country was pretty safe and accommodating to Americans, he decided to go shopping. That's when Jason saw Maryam. He couldn't look away from the beautiful young woman. Their first meeting was short but unforgettable, creating a strong connection between them. Since Maryam wasn't allowed to date, she and Jason started as secret friends. What began as a chance meeting soon led to late-night phone calls and secret meetups. At first, Maryam didn't tell Jason who she really was, afraid he might walk away. When he finally found out months later, he didn't care, he was already in love with her. Their secret didn't last. One of Maryam's bodyguards found out and told her parents. Her father was angry. Not only was she involved with someone outside their royal family, but he was also a Christian and a foreigner, something her devout Muslim family would never accept. He forced her to end the relationship. But Maryam's love was stronger than the rules. Maryam and Jason kept their love a secret, passing letters to each other through a jewelry store worker at the mall. This went on for 11 months until Jason's time in Bahrain was almost over. They knew that if they didn't act fast, they might never see each other again. So, Maryam bravely asked her parents for permission to move to the US with Jason. But their answer was clear. She was expected to marry a wealthy Muslim man, as tradition required. Despite this, they refused to give up. Later, they made a risky plan. Maryam would secretly leave for America with Jason. Using his night vision goggles, Jason studied the airport's security procedures and noticed that while Bahrainis had to show their passports, US Marines were not checked as closely. With his military knowledge, he found a way to get fake documents for Maryam. On the day of their escape, Maryam dressed as a Marine, wearing loose clothes and a Yankees cap to hide her hair. Amazingly, their plan worked. No one at the airport suspected anything, and they boarded the flight to the US together. But they made one big mistake. Maryam forgot to lock her bedroom door. Her parents discovered she was missing the next morning, and immediately contacted the authorities. As soon as the couple landed in Chicago, they were separated once again. US immigration officials arrested Maryam for entering the country illegally. She asked for political asylum, saying her life would be in risk if she returned to Bahrain because she had dishonored her family. Despite the risk of political trouble, US officials allowed Maryam to stay as a refugee. A few weeks later, she and Jason got married in a small ceremony. They lived together at Camp Pendleton for a while, but the Marines soon found out what Jason had done. As a result, he was punished, demoted, court-martialed, and eventually discharged from the military. Despite this, the couple was thrilled to finally be together. The newlyweds moved to the Las Vegas area, where they rented an apartment. Jason took a job as a valet, parking cars for wealthy nightclub patrons. In 2001, Miriam and Jason's story was made into a TV movie called The Princess and the Marine, which aired on NBC. They were paid $500,000 for the rights to their story, giving them a good start to their new life. However, things didn't go as planned. Jason later said that Miriam was more interested in partying in Las Vegas than spending time with him. Soon, they had spent most of their money and were struggling financially. For Miriam, moving from a royal life in Bahrain to a simple life in the US was a huge change. In 2001, after getting her green card, she reconnected with her family, and even visited them. Surprisingly, her father forgave her and didn't hold a grudge. By 2004, after 5 years of marriage, Miriam and Jason decided to divorce, saying they were not compatible. Jason admitted they had been thinking about separating as early as 2001. Despite this, he still cared for her. After the divorce, Miriam's father arranged for her to marry a high-ranking diplomat in Bahrain, cutting her ties with Jason. Jason, on the other hand, focused on rebuilding his life. He used what was left of his money for college and later remarried in 2011. Even though their love story didn't have a fairy tale ending, both seemed to have moved on and found